Hi, my name is Sean Shoemaker, and welcome to my analysis of my digital writing lesson plan for Teaching Digital Writing Summer 2017. First of all, I would like to introduce Seesaw, the digital tool that I decided to use for my presentation or for my lesson plans. And you might be asking, what is Seesaw? Well, Seesaw is a digital portfolio. Seesaw is student-driven, and Seesaw empowers students of any age to create, reflect, collaborate, and share. You can invite families to Seesaw to keep them in the loop about their child's learning and easily communicate between school and home. Seesaw is great because you can connect to others. Last year, I was able to use it to connect to both families, immediate and extended. And this year, I want to extend the use of the tool so that students can connect with their classmates by making comments and to connect with other classes around the world. So a friend of mine, Caitlin, who's also taking this master's program, and I have decided to create a shared Seesaw account where we are both the teachers. And in that account, we will be sharing our projects throughout the year. And this one will be our first project that we are sharing. So in my project, students will be introducing themselves using Seesaw. They take a picture of their family, they annotate on top of it, and then they voice record explaining who the people are in their family in Spanish. And then they will share that with the students in Minnesota, and the students in Minnesota will do the same. So through this set of lessons, we will get to know each other, both in our class and in our sister class. So the app affordances, this set of lessons that I created invite students to learn to use the tool that can be used throughout the year to create many digital writing projects. And I plan to create lessons in which students use the tool to remix media as well as use video to explain their thinking. First of all, Seesaw is easy to use, and these are the different icons that are on the interface of Seesaw. And so students that aren't reading yet can use the picture clues to help them navigate around it. One thing that teachers need to truly think about is how to scaffold the steps to learning each of the tools in Seesaw. If done well, the students find it easy to use, and if not, the teacher might not get the quality of work desired. So it's really important to teach students what is wow work in order to make sure that young students will be able to use the app and create quality digital writing. I have created several different lessons that will teach each of the tools, and the students will learn how to effectively use the app, and then they'll be able to use it to create their own projects. All of the scaffolded lessons that I created can be found in my lesson plan. Collaboration, students can collaborate with each other, and I've yet to use and teach students how to use this feature, so it will be a learning curve for me as well. And this is where I will also teach students about digital citizenship, and I created lessons on that inside of my lesson plans as well. And students can share with other communities of students. And so like I said, my friend Caitlin and I will be using this tool throughout the year to connect with another school that is learning Spanish. What are my reflections? Well, Troy Hicks in Crafting Digital Writing states, with digital writing, we need to think with words, of course, yet we also need to begin thinking like artists, web designers, recording engineers, photographers, and filmmakers. And this is really why I chose Seesaw, because it is a simple interface that can do all of these. And I feel with young learners, I need to start with apps that are user-friendly, yet allow the students creative freedom. Once they understand how to use the tools, the possibilities are truly endless. So I ask this question, is it developmentally appropriate? With my 5 and 6-year-old students, I truly think about the problems that might occur with this project. And therefore, when designing a new project, especially a digital tool, I try to think about all the steps. And that's why I created many different lessons that go step by step through it. And I also always try to make a model for my students to use and anchor off of. I am so excited. Every time I think about how I can use this app with my students, I just get excited and the possibilities are really endless. And what else could I do with Seesaw? Finally, I'm always asking myself, what else can I do with Seesaw? There's so many different apps that can be merged or smashed with Seesaw. So each time I learn about a new app, I think, is it easy enough for kindergarten? And can it be smashed with Seesaw? The possibilities really seem endless. Some of the ideas I have is that we can solve math or science problems and explain our thinking using the voice annotation. We can promote a healthy habit, so we can dive into some of our health curriculum and promote different healthy habits, and send those off to other students and classmates in around the world. And we can also take a picture of a book that we've read and recommend it to other students. So I'm really excited about all of the affordances that this app has to do. So now let's dive into the design process. What is digital composition? What are some of the new and traditional literacies, and how do they impact how we teach writing? And my other question is, in what ways do the internet and digital media promote learning and cultural relevant pedagogy? So what is digital composition? I really identified with Bernadine Porter's explanation. Digital story writing takes the ancient art of oral storytelling and engages a palette of technical tools to weave personal tales using images, graphics, music, and sound mixed together with the author's own story voice. The project I created is really just the start of my students creating their digital story throughout the year. Kindergartners are just learning that they have a voice, and digital composition is just one of the many ways they will learn to use their voice to tell their story. So using Seesaw, they can voice annotate. In the past, I've had to have students draw and write their stories, and then I had to go around and ask each one of them to tell me about their story. Well, in Seesaw, they can really just take a picture of their story and voice annotate right over the top of it, and then every student can do this in a short amount of time. Crafting digital writing, I found this book by Hicks to be amazing, and I went ahead and bought it. I loved his quote. In other words, high quality writing instruction is still high quality writing instruction, regardless of new curricular expectations. And I think his idea of maps, mode, media, audience, purpose, and situation is so important. And I really took into consideration all of these points when creating this digital project. Traditional to new literacies. When creating this project, I took a lesson that is normally something I just do on paper. I have students bring in pictures and they glue them down and they write a sentence about it. Well, now I've really turned it into a collaborative project because I ask their parents to send in the pictures. Then we upload them onto Seesaw. We use the text tool and the annotate tool, and then we send those to our fellow students in our class. Our students in our class comment and help us to create a better project. And then once our project is at its best, we send it to another school where we meet the other students. So I have really thought about how we can take this from a traditional literacy to a new literacy, and I'm so excited to use this with my students. And I'm especially excited to use the commenting tool because it will allow students to learn the process of writing and how to reflect on what they've done and reflect on what others have done in a positive way. Cultural relevant, well, students today may be born digital, but it is our job to help them become purposeful and creative digital writers. And this is also from Hicks's book. This quote truly resonates with me. As a kindergarten teacher, I always feel that I am creating the foundation of the building. If I can give my students a strong foundation, they will be able to build upon it in any creative way they like. So once they know how to use the tool, they will be able to take it to places I have never thought of. Redesign. How does digital writing provide opportunities for civic engagement? And in what ways can media users use online platforms to build knowledge around social issues and or pivot audiences and promote change? Civic engagement. Seop quotes, "The majority of youth are not engaged in participatory politics. This particular lesson does not really promote civic engagement. Well, not yet. Since the students are young, we really are using this lesson to get them to know each other. Once comfortable using the tools, they can begin to use digital writing to express ideas and opinions. Students might extend the idea of family introductions to share with our sister schools some of the traditions that we celebrate with our family. With the creation of a sister classroom, maybe we use Seesaw to create commercials to our new friends, to share with our new friends on how we can protect the earth. Or we could also include videos and photos of ourselves involved in the action, as suggested by Sarita in the blog post. When students can feel they are part of something bigger than just themselves, the entire dynamic of their sense of motivation and purpose takes quantum leaps forward. This was in Garcia on page 78. Promote change. Although my students are young, allowing them to use a platform like Seesaw gives them an authentic audience to share their writing with. I found this quote in teaching in the connected learning classroom to be very relevant. Writing about their interests for an authentic audience changed the way students composed. Although this particular project does not promote change, it teaches students that they have a voice and that it can be shared with others. And we need to start somewhere. Eventually, they can use this voice to promote change. Now let's move into Remix. What does it mean to participate ethically online in terms of privacy, in terms of copyright and fair use? As educators, how do we provide learning opportunities that promote ethical understandings? Well, digital citizenship is something that I don't believe that you can start too early. And this project does not really delve into a remix, but it does go into digital citizenship. And so with this tiny URL down here, you can check out how I promote digital citizenship in my lesson. And then learning through play. According to Jenkins et al., there is a growing recognition that play itself as a means of exploring and processing knowledge and of problem solving may be a valuable skill children should master in preparation for subsequent roles and responsibilities in the adult world. And so through using Seesaw, the students will be playing with an app which will help to prepare them to collaborate and create presentations in the future. Response. What factors should we consider when assessing digital writing, and in what ways can teachers balance the competing roles of encourager, guide, and evaluator when assessing student writing? I really liked the writing that said most current writing content standards stand alone and focus exclusively on written text, and many technology standards pay little attention to achievement in digital writing, though they may stress that students should be familiar with technology tools. Ideally, standards for technology and writing should be intertwined, a double helix of writing and technology. So in this lesson, I really mixed together the ISTE standards and the Kindergarten Common Core writing standards, as well as their speaking and listening standards. And we assess ideally on both process and product, thus bringing our relationships with our students into play with our evaluation of their writing. So we need to think about both formative assessment and summative assessment. And so in my lesson plan on day 5 and 6, I have formative assessments built in. And then as far as summative assessments, I use the ISTE and Common Core standards, as well as the tool for skills inside of Seesaw to create really great assessments. And then finally, balancing the role. I really found Spandl's 9 Rights of Every Writer, a guide for teachers, to be extremely relevant body of work that got me thinking and reflecting on my own practices as an evaluator. And how do we find the balance? We assure that the assessments we are giving and creating are truly beneficial to the writer and help us to guide future instruction. So we think of assessments as perceptive, compassionate, and useful. We create a writing portfolio, which is what I did through Seesaw. And you can go back to this throughout the year to see how students develop, and then we collaborate. We use a collaborative process. So we don't use students as just individual writers, but we allow them to use others as well as ourselves to collaborate and create excellent digital writing. Thank you for checking this out.